a special edition 3rd and 3. I'm Coach, joined by the coach, and we're going to get right into it, Coach, because that's what coaches do. Coaches don't waste time. Coach, tell us about that big win over Northeast.
Shoot, the Northeast win was a heck of a win for our football team, Jason. We went on the road. It was we talked about how it's been tough to go to Macon and get wins. A very physical, tough Northeast Macon football team. Our guys were able to take care of their business, jump to a nice lead there in the first half. A little more of the same, ground and pound, a couple of nice pass plays mixed in. I saw on Facebook the next morning, I thought this was kind of neat. Jaques Evans had 6 touchdowns in the game. That tied a Dublin record that had stood for 100 years to the day. 1919, I think, Dublin beat Swainsboro 84-0, and they had a young man score 6 touchdowns that night. So that was something this football team as a whole, not just Donut, because it takes everybody in order for a running back to have that type of night. But I thought everybody played real well on the offensive side of the ball. Zion Kemp might have had his best night, not necessarily in yards rushing, but his night blocking for us. Our offensive line played really well. Markel Mitchell made some big timely throws. So good night there. Defensively, we held them to 30 yards, I think, total rushing, and they were a pretty good rushing team. And we gave up 21 points, but I think the truth of the matter is a lot of that was because our kickoff coverage wasn't where it needed to be. By the way, I do like your Halloween costume.
I hope so. It was done all in love, and I got to thank my children and my wife for running all over town looking for fake mustaches. Hard to find one that's white, so we had to spray paint it silver. Hope y'all like it. And Coach, the thing is, we don't have any time to waste because this week we've got Swanee coming to town from Live Oak. They look an awful lot like the Irish in size and speed and athleticism. What are you telling the boys this week to get them ready to try to hold down the fort again?
Well, you're right, Jason. They're green and white. Their uniforms look a lot alike. Their talent is extremely Florida-ish. Real lot of speed out on the perimeters. They have a offensive tackle that's a 5-star recruit. He's committed to the University of Georgia. I think last name is Braun, but he's 6'7", 335. And watching him on film, you can understand why Georgia's excited to have that young man committed. They like to run the football. They like to pound the rock in there, and they throw the football when they need to. A lot like us defensively. They're very aggressive. They run a slant 50. I feel like, I wish this game had been earlier in the year rather than going into the game that really matters the most, which would be the Washington County game in a couple of weeks. But I think it's a game that we need. It's a game to test us up front. Hopefully we play well. We're able to contain their run game because they put that big 330-pounder in the backfield a great deal.
Ain't no doubt about it.
Haven't seen him tote the rock yet. I'm sure he probably will, but I've seen him pancake a lot of people. I'm glad that we only have to see one of him. But, the thing is, their offensive line goes about 265 a guy up front. So they're pretty big and physical. And be a great night of football, we think, in the Shamrock Bowl.
It sure is, and for a whole lot of reasons. We've got a celebration of Miss Pearl Whitlock that we want to make sure folks come out. We're also doing an appreciation for our teachers and staff. We're going to hopefully fill up that bowl and show the folks in Florida how a football game should look in a very historic setting. From what I've been told on the forecast, it's supposed to be upper 50s by kickoff time. So nice, crisp, clear football weather, not this drizzle stuff that's going to try to mess up my children's costumes on Thursday. But we want to wrap the week up like we always do, and we're going to do it in real good fashion with We Must Ask Coach a Question. All right, Coach, we're not going to mess around today. We're not going to throw up pictures of nothing. We're just going to do what it is, and it's your mustache against my mustache, and you get to pick it.
That's a tough one, Jason. This one's been around now for 59 years. I'm going to have to go with a 59-year-old mustache.
Well, there you go, folks. The best mustache around is the one that's been around for a lot longer, because this one's about to get ripped off as soon as I hit that record button. We want to make sure you guys come out to the Shamrock Bowl this Friday. Make sure that you come out next Friday too, and hopefully we're about to get into a 5-week sprint here toward a good finish line. Make sure to come out, and as always, check us out on 3rd and 3 with Coach Roger Holmes.